Hello, this is the first in a series of videos available which will provide an overview of the CemTrax Cemetery software. Please bear in mind these videos are not meant to be an in-depth tutorial on how to use the CemTrax software. Before opening CemTrax, let's begin with the system requirements to use it. First, you must have Microsoft Access installed. Access is a database program that is part of the Microsoft Office software suite. If you have other Office software programs installed, such as Word, Excel, Outlook, or PowerPoint, you may already have Access installed on your machine. If you don't have Access, the cost of the program is very affordable. Please bear in mind to use CemTrax, you do not need to know how to use a database program such as Access. You don't even need to know what a database program is. The reason you need to have Access installed is because CemTrax is technically a database file, and in order to use this file, you must have the Microsoft Access program installed. This is very similar to how you must have Word open to edit and view a Word document, or you must have Adobe Reader installed to read a PDF document. Let's continue. Your computer must be running a Windows operating system. The latest version is Windows 10. But if you have an older computer, you may be using Windows 8 or Windows 7. Unfortunately, Microsoft does not make Access for those who use Mac or Apple computers. It also does not run on smartphones. The SimTrax Demo must be installed and used in the same way on your computer as your customized final license of SimTrax would be. This ensures that the program runs properly on your computer. If you are intending to install SimTrax on multiple computers, they must all be tested with the demo installed. When multiple computers are used, they must be located on the same network so they can share the data properly. Computers cannot share the data through cloud storage or an internet-based location. The SimTrax program comes with a screen sharing utility to use during technical support sessions. To use this utility, you must have a broadband internet connection. Let's continue with a little background about myself. I am the owner of Endress Reporting Solutions, LLC. This is a company that provides programming and consulting services to businesses and individuals for Microsoft Excel spreadsheet and Microsoft Access database applications. Prior to forming this company, I spent several years programming, designing, and providing technical support for one of the other industry leaders in cemetery software. In fact, it is very likely that you came across this other software in the search that brought you to CemTrax. I also have 20 years of experience as an accountant in both the private and public sectors as a CPA. Why are cemeteries choosing CemTrax? First, the goal of CemTrax is to provide a cemetery software solution that has features similar to the high-end industry leaders, but instead comes at a budget-friendly price. So who are CemTrax customers? Most CemTrax customers are small and medium-sized cemeteries. They may have only a few hundred burials in their cemetery, or they may have many tens of thousands. They are religious organizations, villages, townships, cities, and other organizations. Many are organizations made up mostly, if not entirely, of volunteers, or in other cases, managing a cemetery is just part of a much larger job they have. This may be the case for you. They also often have small budgets and can't afford the expensive solutions they are finding from other leading providers. And even if their budgets are not as small, they know they don't need to overspend on a software solution that contains expensive features they don't need. CemTrax meets the needs of many cemeteries. It is able to track the same information as other software solutions. It may even have some features that the others don't. But it is able to be offered at a price point that is much lower than the competition, since it was developed with and is used by readily available software programs that are on most Windows computers today. Let's take our first look at the CemTrax program. Here we'll be using the CemTrax Demo, which is the same program as a customized final license of CemTrax Pro, except that here the map is different. For the demo, we select the username of administrator. There is no password. When you have your final license of CemTrax, I would strongly encourage you to set up your own usernames and also use passwords. A message will pop up if you need to perform a backup. In this case, this program hasn't made a backup in a few days, so the program is reminding us to do so. When the program opens, you can see the application pane at the top. This displays the cemetery name, the username, and any important messages that the program wants to display. In this case, you can see that it's asking to perform a backup soon. In the navigation menu, you can see the different areas of the program within SimTrax. By default, the People tab is selected first. Immediately below that is the navigation submenu. The information view, or info as it is seen here, is selected. We can also see there are views for finding people, displaying owners, deceased people, veterans, employees, and attached documents. Continuing down the screen, we see the header pane. This is where we find summary information about what we're looking at, and also buttons for interacting with that information in various ways. The final area is the information pane. This shows the details of what is stored in SimTrax and is also where we can enter and edit that information. We'll take a closer look at some of these areas in other videos in this series. Our next video will cover installation of the SimTrax Demo.